it happens. A very beautiful anecdote in the life of a great Zen master, Rinzai. Rinzai met a party of 3 traveling monks belonging to another Buddhist school, and one of the 3 ventured to question the Zen monk. How deep is the river of Zen? The reference to the river arose from their encounter taking place on a bridge. The Zen monk, Rinzai, was noted for his direct actions. Lost no time in replying. Find out for yourself, he said, and offered to throw the questioner from the bridge into the river. The questioner has asked, how deep is the river of Zen? A beautiful question. But when you ask a question to a Zen master, you have to be ready for anything. Because the Zen master does not reply from his memory. Just the immediate response is his response. They were standing on a bridge. That's why the question arose. Maybe because of the river, the questioner used the metaphor of the river. But he must be unaware that Zen masters don't like metaphors. They like reality. The metaphor will function like a shoe, and the reality is your foot, which is itching. Rinzai said, find out for yourself, and offered to throw the questioner from the bridge. Even Dr. Suzuki, who has introduced Zen to the West, who has done a great service to humanity. In these 70 years, no other man has done such a great service to humanity as Suzuki. But even a man like Suzuki comments on this story, but fortunately, his own 2 friends interceded and pleaded for mercy, which saved the situation. Now even Suzuki has become afraid this is going too much. But my own feeling is this is not fortunate that the 2 interceded. It would have been perfectly good to throw the monk into the river, to give him a taste of the real river, rather than go on thinking into metaphors. Thinking in metaphors does not help. I am not ready to agree with Suzuki. I have a very soft heart for Suzuki, but I am not ready to agree with this statement. He says it was fortunate that the 2 other interceded and saved the situation. They destroyed the whole situation. Nobody knows. The man falling from the bridge into the river may have become enlightened. Because when a man like Rinzai offers to throw a man, it cannot be meaningless. A man like Rinzai knows what he is doing. A man like Rinzai is perfectly aware of the situation. There are people who can become alert only when death faces them, otherwise they are never alert. There are people who will wake only when death is standing just in front of them. For me, it was unfortunate that the other 2 interceded and pleaded for mercy. The poor man missed a great opportunity. Satori was possible. In fact, a man like Rinzai will not offer to throw anybody or everybody. A man like Rinzai will offer to throw somebody only when he sees the possibility, when he sees the potential. This is the way Zen tackles situations, questions, challenges. Another anecdote. A monk had but just returned from a very long trip, only to learn that his little son had died, and that even now the funeral was passing through the village. The shock and pain of this discovery sent him dashing towards the village, waving a sword. He came upon the little procession with the master walking alongside the coffin. The monk raised his sword to the master and cried, "Now, can you say a word?" Now, this is a very special way of Zen people. They say, "Now, can you say a word which can solve the problem that is encountered by me? My son is dead. I loved him tremendously. Now, can you say a word to solve this problem?" And he has come with his sword. And he raised the sword in front of the master. And he says, "Now, can you say a word? Can you say something that can help me to see into this problem, to go through this problem, to have a breakthrough?" The master lifted the lid of the coffin and said, "You see, I have kept nothing from you, not even this." A great master opened the lid of the coffin and said, "Come on, you see the dead body of the son. Death, so young, so fresh. Death so alive. Because when a child dies, death is very young and very fresh, very radiant. You can see death in the child's face more than you will be ever able to see in an old man. When an old man dies, death is also old. When a young child dies, death is very young and fresh like a flower. The master opens the lid and says, "You see, I have kept nothing from you, not even this. I have talked about life. I have helped you to see life. Now see death too. Not even this. I have not kept anything from you hidden. Now everything is revealed. Life you know, now see death too." "It is so. It is so," replied the monk, as pain revealed what had so long been hidden from him. What has been hidden? What pain has revealed? What this master did by opening the coffin and showing the man his own dead child. What he has done. The man was angry. He was ready to kill or be killed. He was in a rage. He was mad. He was waving a naked sword. He must have been very much attached to the child. The child must have been his very life. He is not in his senses. But the cool face of death brings him back to his senses. And he can see his attachment. And he can see that he is not worried about the child and the child's death. He is worried about his own attachment, about his own possessiveness. He is worried basically about his own death. The child has shown that everybody is going to die. The child has shown that you are ready to die any moment. Even a young boy can disappear into death. So what about you? All these things are revealed in that fresh, silent, cool death. Life is warm, death is cool. But death is as much alive as life. And the master says, you see, I have kept nothing from you, not even this. And a great realization, a great awakening. It is so, replied the monk, as pain revealed what had so long been hidden from him. Zen masters are very straight, very immediate. Nobody can predict their response because they never react. Now, this is not a reaction. It is not a prepared answer. The situation is so new. It may not have happened ever before, and it may not have happened ever afterwards. Nothing repeats if you are really alive, responsive, spontaneous. Nothing repeats. Every situation brings its own answer. This is not a rehearsed answer. He opens the lid. This is a total act of responsibility. Listen to this another anecdote, a very rare. Some unexpected visitors arrived at the monastery. So word was sent to the cook to prepare extra food. And the cook was no ordinary man. He was a man who has attained his satori. Quickly, he set about his task, but in gathering up sticks of green vegetables, in a hurry, he also picked up a snake. And it was getting dark, and the monk was old, and he could not see well either. So, and he was in a hurry. The guests had come, and immediately something was to be prepared. So he's cutting vegetables, and in the vegetables, he picked up a snake too. Chop, chop, chop went the knife, leaving the cook all unaware of the extra protein going into the pot. Halfway through the meal, the cook was brought before the master, who pointed to the head of a snake held between his fingers. By accident, the head has come into the master's vegetables. And the master called the cook. Who pointed to the head of a snake held between his fingers. What the master is saying? He's saying, now can you say a word? Quick as a flash, the cook deftly removed the snake's head from the master's hand and swallowed it, saying, "I thank you, master," and briskly left the room. This is Zen response. What there is to say must have been a rare man, this cook. What beautiful response. This is total response, straightforward, immediate. And whenever you are straightforward, your answer is not just an answer. It is your totality. The action is total. Now, not a single moment's hesitation, not a single moment's doubt, not a single moment's guilt, no apology, nothing. And it happened in a single moment, in a split moment. Because you waver a little, thought enters, and the answer is no more a response. Because through thought comes the past, memory. You start looking what to do, what should I say? The moment you think, what should I say, you have missed. He would have been beaten that day, badly beaten. He may have even been thrown out of the ashram. But this beautiful act, this total act, he took immediately the snake, swallowed it, and said, "Thank you, master," as if something has been offered to him. This is Zen way of responding. Now, today's sutra.